Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new day of Road to TCG Worlds 2017. Now Madison Regionals just took place this past weekend and we had quite a few surprises, as I'm sure you've heard. A lot of us, including myself, just like what happened with Vikavolt, we discarded Metagross as a bad GX, and Christopher Szymanski from 6 prizes ended up getting second place with this list. Now, I was really impressed after I saw the deck on stream. It made sense how good it was, and it seemed like a really good way to counter the Garbiter metagame that we've been seeing for quite some time. So, Metagross-GX, 250 HP, which is a humongous number, and it's really difficult for things like Drampa or for things like Garbiter to get to that point, especially if you're careful with your item cards. Geotech System, the ability is absolutely amazing. You may attach a Psychic or Metal Energy from your discard pile to your active Pokemon. So this allows you to switch between Metagross, allows you to to power them up, even though it costs 3 energy to retreat them, in order to compensate for the Giga Hammer restriction, which Giga Hammer for 3 energy deals 150 damage. And you can't use the attack during your next turn. So that way you can retreat and then fully power up Metagross-GX once again, things like that. With your energy attachment, you only need 2 Metagross-GX in play. So pretty awesome to see such a deck. And then we have Algorithm GX, which I guess for the late game as an N countermeasure would be pretty good. If you use it early on, you'll probably just get your cards shuffled back into your deck after an end, so you're probably just better off saving up the GX attack. Or if you're dead drawing, I guess it's an out to not dead draw anymore, but I really wouldn't count on it. Probably one of the weaker GX attacks simply because N exists in our metagame, but pretty awesome to see such a cool card, and especially because Volcanion pretty much completely died off. The only fire typing we're seeing is the combination of Flareon plus other stage 1s, so pretty cool to see. And then we have the one Dhelmise, which adds 10 damage to Metagross-GX's attack. So with Dhelmise in play, you're dealing 160 damage. That means a single Professor Kukui makes it so that you reach 180 to KO the basic GXs or EXs, and if Lapras is an issue, then a Dhelmise with a Choice Band means you don't need Choice Band and Kukui to deal enough damage to knock out Laprases, or even Tortunators perhaps. So pretty nice tech. It's also a Psychic type Pokemon. Its Anchor Shot attack is nothing to scoff at, dealing 70 damage, not allowing retreat, and then with Choice Band and Kukui, if you're hitting for weakness, it can actually be a really nice attack for sure. And that's the reason why Christopher is running the Psychic energies. Then we have the 2 Tapu Lele in order to use Wonder Tag and set up. Energy Drive is also a pretty good attack when you're combining with Energy Acceleration off of your ability. And Tapu Cure GX might actually even turn out useful in order to heal your 250 HP Metagross-GXs. Then we have a single Alolan Vulpix, which seems to be turning into a staple in order to try and set up more easily your stage 2 decks. So that's pretty cool to see. We actually saw Connor Finton's list, who he got 9th place, and he was running 3 Alolan Vulpix and teammates. So that made a lot of sense. I really like the idea behind that. 2 Field Blower, 3 Max Potion, 3 Rare Candy, 1 Rescue Stretcher, all utility cards. Max Potion is really nice after you retreat your Metagross, no longer has energy, so you just fully heal it. Rare Candy to make it easier for us to reach to the Metagross stage, Rescue Stretcher to get back Pokemon, 4 Ultra Ball and 4 via Seeker to recycle our supporter cards and search for the Pokemon we need at the right time. Supporter lineup, pretty consistent. We have the 4 Sycamore, 3 and 2 Lysander that we're used to, 1 Professor Kukui for that extra damage, 1 Olympia in order to add even more healing and potentially retreat without having to waste that many energy, and 1 Hex Maniac and 1 Brigette. Also 1 Karen, as you can see, as a way to counter Vespiquen, although the Vespiquens in turn added the Flareon tech, so that made Metagross that made Vespiquen a bad matchup for Metagross, and current was just simply not enough to counter that. For Choice Band is something I really like. I definitely wish I had played for Choice Band this past weekend, where I won a League Cup with Lapras, and as you can see now we're over the 1,000 championship points mark. But because I don't have Karen in my in my demo account, I already have the deck saved with the change. I'm gonna take out the Karen, I'm gonna add a Dhelmise, and we'll see how the deck runs in the ladder. I'm pretty excited to try out the deck, honestly. I'm pretty excited. Apparently I closed my game before I got the reward. A Seismic EX. And let's just head on over to... There you go. Okay, so really excited to try this out. And then we also had a very interesting deck take second place in the Birmingham regional over at England, which was Zoroark Drampa. That will be tomorrow's deck, and then Wednesday will probably be Vespiquen and Zoroark. As you can see, it's already built. And then Thursday I might feature Vikavolt once again, but this time the Tapu Bulu focused lists, which were the ones that actually appeared in in Madison and in Birmingham, I believe. So it should make for an interesting weekend. I mean, an interesting week of decks. And all of this leads up to Mexico City regionals, which I will be writing a preview for 6 prizes, of course. And I apologize for all my coughing. I have a really sore throat. But I really wanted to, that's why I couldn't record the videos yesterday, because I was just very sore on my throat. But I am doing them today because I don't want to leave you guys without content. So we get our Dhelmise. We are up against Gyarados, which did end up winning Birmingham Regional. So this should prove to be an interesting matchup to watch. Okay, we get a Beldum off of our mulligan, which is awesome. And the 2 retreat cost off of the Dhelmise is not ideal. We do see the matchup for the Machoke tech, and we don't have any Tapu Koko or anything. So we're just gonna be kind of winging it, and we're gonna be trading 1-hit KOs against Gyarados versus 2-hit KOs with 3 benched Magikarps, and with 3 benched damaged Magikarps and a Choice Band. Gyarados actually can't knock Metagross-GX out in 1 hit. He actually needs to attach 2 Choice Bands to a single Metagross. So I mean, obviously that's a possibility, a very real possibility of him doing that, but Field Blower is the thing. So as long as we use them smartly, our Metagross should be good. And we also get to heal the damage off of Max Potion. So I think this in theory should be an okay matchup, but we'll see. I definitely don't need the Choice Band though. Definitely don't need the Choice Band, don't need a Seeker if I haven't played any supporter cards yet. So I'm gonna search for Lele, and with Lele, I'm just gonna search for N. I don't want to Sycamore away the Metang or the Metagross. I could just be patient. And my opponent did promote the Magikarp. But no, I really want energy, extra energy, and he really wants me to knock out the Magikarp because that's down without any damage at all. Damage on a Beldum would be really bad because that would allow him to knock me out with a bench full of Magikarps. And we don't get such a great hand, honestly. I'm gonna attach the metal to Beldum, and I'm gonna pass. But I'm in no hurry of knocking out the Magikarp. I really am not in any hurry at all to attack the Magikarp. We do see a Gyarados now. We do see a TCG. We do see another Choice Band get played, so that's 2 out of potential 4 Choice Bands, which is pretty okay in my book. We're gonna see another N, so slowly but surely getting there. We do find a Metagross, we do find a Metang once again. I haven't, oh no, I did use Ultra Ball, but I didn't check my prices. Okay, so we do see the stadium finally. Which, since we're not running any stadiums, we won't be able to deny the stadium for a long enough time, so I might just use my Field Blower, unless I can play down a Beldum on the turn I play the Field Blower, or I can just bridge it for the other Beldums. I'm gonna use a Field Blower to remove Choice Bands for sure. So he's gonna grab a Magikarp, so he will not be able to knock out the 120 HP Dhelmise just yet. And he grabs Octillery, sorry, not Magikarp. And he knows this, so that's why he's not even bothering. If he deals 30 damage now though, he will be able to knock out the Dhelmise later on. Here's an N. And there's a full retaliation for a mere 30 damage. Okay, so I get another Ultra Ball. Definitely want to evolve this guy. We could see as Lysander. It's definitely possible. Lysander bench a Magikarp for knockout on the Metang. So because of that, I'm gonna Ultra Ball, and I'm just gonna grab another Metang. Okay, so one Beldum is prized, and one Metagross-GX is prized. And then other things like Energy and Sycamore. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna evolve there. And I kind of wanted to Sycamore, but because one Metagross-GX is priced, I really don't want to depend on only two Metagross. I do find a Metagross-GX for next turn potentially, so because yeah, I'm gonna spread out my energy because I do have my ability. Dhelmise is probably going out or getting knocked out next turn during my opponent's turn. So this way I'm able to I don't lose both energies, and even if he Lysander knocks out a Metang, I can evolve and attach and like be okay for now, but we're not in the greatest position. Okay, so we're gonna see an Ultra Ball, potentially Ultra Ball for Lele, for Lysander. That would be my guess. No, he just straight up goes for another Magikarp. Losing the Max Potion I am not a fan of, but we do have 3. And he did have the Lysander. Oh, but he's gonna go after Tapu Lele instead of knocking out a Metang. I feel like that's very greedy. I definitely feel like that's a very greedy move on my opponent's part. Because having 2 Metagross and having the Max Potion, that's just pretty good to have. Might have to hold on though. Okay. So, I think I really want to knock out the Octillery so that my ends later on are more effective. I will do this for sure. I will use Geotech System. Now I knock out the Gyarados. I do have the Max Potion, I have the Sycamore, but off of the Sycamore I'm gonna have to get an Energy. No, I'm just gonna have to get a Metagross-GX off of an Ultra Ball, or I could even get it off of my prize card, so I'm gonna go after his Octillery, just so that my ends are more effective later on. And I'm gonna Giga Hammer here. No metal resistance, thankfully. We do get the 10 damage increase off of the Dhelmise. We do find a Beldum of our prices, so it wasn't the Metagross, but I guess that was the next best thing. And a lot's gonna depend on the Sycamore. A lot is going to depend on the Sycamore, but we're gonna try. Like, if I manage to pull this off, if I can heal off the Metagross and take another prize card, that actually makes the trade-offs decently even. And now that there's no Octillery in play, like, he could try to get it back, but with no Octillery in play, I reckon our future ends would be pretty good. Okay, so never mind. There's the artillery. There's the artillery back. So because we can't end this turn, our Lysander was, I'm not gonna say it was wasted, but just wasn't that effective. Okay, so I do find a Psychic Energy. Is that relevant in any way at all? Probably not. Core Beam, nope. I mean, I might as well bench the Lele. Oh no, that was probably a mistake, because my opponent can knock out the Lele so easily. I mean, I could end. That's what I can do. I could end, but hoping to hit a Metagross-GX off of an N seems really bad here. 2 Metagross, 2 Ultra Ball. I don't think I can actually afford to do that. But it would remove the... I'm gonna go for it. It would remove the artillery from his hand, which, I mean, it's not like he's gonna have too much trouble finding it. Okay, so I'm just gonna attach the energy there. Gonna max potion the damage, and I mean, I'm gonna draw 2 less cards. Hoping like this is never good, and I whiff. And I whiff. Yeah. I whiff on the Metagross and on draw. I whiff on Metagross and on draw, which is obviously not good. I should have just gone for the Sycamore play. Definitely should have just gone for the Sycamore play. Are you gonna see a Lysander for the Lele once again? Everyone's aggressively targeting the Leles. So yeah, the issue was just not being able to set up another Metang, or Metagross rather. There's the damage on the Lele. There's 2 prize cards, which I'm sure will be, yep. Uh-oh. No! Okay, there you go. I mean, I need another Metagross anyways, so I might actually have to use Algorithm GX to stay in the match. Yep, I will have to do that. So I'm gonna Geotech System myself. And then I'm going to use a Hex for whatever reason. And I'm going to attach this for whatever reason. And I'm gonna use Algorithm GX. So I'm gonna grab Metagross. I have the Rare Candy, so both Metagross actually. And VS Seeker. VS Seeker, Max Potion, and VS Seeker. I don't need anything else, do I? So, my opponent will probably end me, but if he doesn't, we would be in a pretty okay position. Too bad we're not taking a prize card when we are using the Max Potion though. Okay, there's the Dive Ball, so I'm gonna try and knock out the artillery once again this upcoming turn. Well, not gonna try, I will knock out the artillery. This also means that because I'm not knocking out the Gyarados, he doesn't get to do the double Choice Band or even Kukui Choice Band knockout, 260 HP knockout or 260 damage knockout on my Metagross-GX. And there's a full retaliation. Okay. So can we outlast my opponent? We have to be very careful with this Metagross. Very, very careful. And now I'm gonna have to use 2 Geotech Systems in order to retreat the Metagross, and I will definitely heal it off to make sure that my opponent doesn't win off of a Lysander. And then, once again, I'm going to Lysander knock out the Octillery. And then I will end. I mean, I'm probably in a really bad position anyways. And it's gonna come down to, can my opponent find like some pieces of the puzzle? Like, it's gonna come down to, can my opponent find VS Seekers? It's really gonna come down to that. I've already played 3N. And this is my last VS Seeker, so that's not good. It's definitely not good. Okay. Rescue Stretcher for a Remoraid. So he knows he really needs the Octillery. And he knows an N is coming. I mean, I got the 5 cards I wanted the previous turn. Oh, he's gonna double Rescue Stretcher. For Octillery and Shaman, and he's gonna put them back into his deck. Which makes sense. Definitely makes sense, but there. So now he lost a Gyarados right there. He's used 2 Rescue Stretchers and 2 Puzzle of Time, and he's only gonna get 2 cards right now. So I really think we can pull this off. So we are going to retreat into the brand new Metagross-GX, and we are going to use 3 Geotech systems. I'm not gonna touch the Psychic, just in case I want to save it for a Dhelmise for whatever reason. And then I'm going to heal, and I'm going to use N. I will attach there. I will max potion here. And I will use N to bring my opponent down to 2 cards. Now the odds of him dead drawing, I guess, are not very high because he has thinned out his deck pretty heavily. But removing the Stadium could be a pretty good deal as well. Possible Lysander play onto the Machoke could be good. I'm gonna get rid of the Stadium. How many Stadiums has he discarded? Just the 1. And potentially the Choice Band. Well, not potentially, the Choice Band. And I don't want Rescue Stretcher, at least not yet. I don't have any more ends. I might need Rescue Stretcher for Lysander later on. But we're getting closer now. We're getting decently closer. And it's gonna come down to, can his Gyarados flow? Can his Rescue Stretchers flow? There's another DCE. And he gets the Sycamore off of the end, so there's really not much you can do about that. He got DC, Sycamore, and N off of the N to 2, so uses Rescue Stretcher to find another Gyarados, I would imagine, or not, a Magikarp. And see, the thing is, I'm gonna run out of attackers that are not just easily knocked out by Gyarados. That's the issue. That is 100% the issue. I would need to potentially set up a 4th Metagross-GX and have him with the VS Seeker. But he's even playing Puzzle of Time, so things are not looking good. All he's gonna need is a Lysander because I don't have any more max potions left. So Gyarados seems to be a pretty bad matchup for this deck. A Team Magma base and a Choice Band, interestingly. So he's just trying to max out on the damage he deals to me. But he already has the Octillery back in play. I don't even have N to get rid of that. We do see a Choice Band. And that's gonna be 240. That's gonna be 240 damage. If he finds another Choice Band, then that's game. But he doesn't. So 240 damage. But he's only played 2 VS Seekers and 1 Lysander, so he will for sure have the knockout next turn. I have to hope he doesn't have a Gyarados, but he will also have a Gyarados for sure, so... Maybe I pressured the Octillery too much, and I should have just... knocked out the Gyarados. Not sure. I don't think it matters at this point, but like even a Magikarp hit could knock out my poor Metagross-GX. And there's a Brigette, so no chance here. No chance without knocking an EX or GX. And my opponent very smartly never played a GX or EX. To see a Dive Ball for nothing. To see a Special Charge. 1, 2, all 3 Gyarados are in the discard pile. There's 3 Rescue Stretchers, all 4 Puzzle of Time have been used up. If you look, the last Rescue Stretcher is not priced. But I guess, oh. Okay, so he's gonna Lysander and then hope to hit the Rescue Stretcher off of Octillery. Why would you play the Seeker? And does he get the Rescue Stretcher? If he whiffs... Oh, he gets a Shaman. So Shaman is enough to knock me out. If I had removed the Float Stone... Oh wow, he actually doesn't. Oh. Are you serious? And he used the Seeker for Kukui. Oh wow. That was a really big misstep by my opponent. And I can actually knock out the Magikarp with a Dhelmise. I don't like that. Well, actually that doesn't make a difference at all. Is there any supporter card that helps me? I don't have another Lysander, right? Yeah, I really don't. Olympia, Kukui, and Sycamore. All 4 Sycamore. So I set up my Metagross and I never played a single Sycamore. Olympia doesn't really help me. I guess I could use the Field Blower. But it's not worth playing down. It's really not worth playing down a Tapu Lele, which, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah, actually it doesn't matter. And Field Blower would actually be pretty good here. So, yeah. I mean, he needs a 4th Lysander, so it really doesn't matter if I Sycamore here or not. But if I find a Field Blower, I can remove I can remove the Choice Band and I can remove the Float Stone, making it harder for my opponent to retreat. And there's the Field Blower, so yeah, he can't just promote the Machoke. And maybe, well, if I had found the Olympia, I could have promoted this Metagross and healed it so that I wouldn't be in a Shaman KO range. And now we're gonna use Geotech System. Wow. I think I nearly messed up right there because of the energy. But I have 3 energy in my discard pile, so that's pretty good. I'm gonna play this just in case my opponent plays N, and I'm gonna retreat, and I'm just gonna use Giga Hammer for the knockout. He shouldn't be able to knock out this Metagross. I mean, he got back the Kukui, but he's played 3 Choice Band, so he can't get back Magikarp and Gyarados. I don't know, it's weird. There's a VS Seeker. Did he top deck the Gyarados? I guess he top decked the Gyarados. Or he's gonna play it and then off of the 4 cards he has left, he's gonna try to get the Rescue Stretcher. Did he get it? Is he slow playing us? Wow, it's already been half an hour. Wow, but he got the energy. Wow, he did have another choice band. Yeah, so, I mean, it was really difficult at that point, only because he whiffed. But yeah, I mean, that was a good game, and it was really close. A 4th max potion would have probably done it for us. A 4th via Seeker as well. A 3rd Lysander. There was a lot of things we could have done right there to do this. Not bad. That max potion that we had to use after we used Algorithm GX was really bad. My opponent hunting down the Tapu Lele-s was pretty good for him as well. And I guess that turn where I used N instead of Sycamore, that was probably the crucial turn which ended up costing us the match. But yeah, I mean, that's Metagross, guys. Huge props to Christopher Szymanski for making it that far with such a deck. I really like the deck. It makes a lot of sense in this metagame. And if Fire doesn't become popular, I don't see why Metagross won't be able to really show up in Mexico City and potentially even the international tournaments. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like on the video if you can. It really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you haven't yet. We're closing in on 9,000 subscribers, which is awesome, and it would be incredible to get to 10,000 before Worlds. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.